In a world that constantly bombards us with advice on how to improve ourselves, mindfulness, meditation, exercise, and more, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. The pressure to add yet another habit to an already overflowing to-do list can be exhausting. But what if the key to building mental resilience isn't about doing more, but rather about letting go of the things that hold us back? What if the path to strength lies in identifying and releasing the habits and mindsets that sabotage our growth? Amy Morin, in her groundbreaking book 13 Things Mentally Strong Women Don't Do, challenges the traditional self-help narrative. Instead of urging us to pile on more routines, she invites us to examine the toxic behaviors that drain our energy and hinder our progress. From overthinking to people-pleasing, Morin reveals the patterns that keep us stuck and provides actionable steps to break free. As the saying goes, you can't pour from an empty cup, and Morin's approach helps us refill ours by shedding what no longer serves us. This isn't just about self-improvement, it's about self-liberation. Imagine a life where you no longer compare yourself to others, where self-doubt doesn't dictate your decisions, and where you stop trying to please everyone at the expense of your own well-being. Morin's insights offer a roadmap to reclaiming your mental strength and living with greater clarity and purpose. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." This book is about taking back that consent. In this exploration, we'll dive into the 13 behaviors that mentally strong women avoid. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're practical, relatable, and often deeply ingrained habits that many of us struggle with. Whether it's the tendency to ruminate on past mistakes or the fear of failure that keeps us from taking risks, Morin's advice is both empowering and actionable. It's a reminder that mental strength isn't about perfection, it's about progress. So, if you're ready to let go of what's weighing you down and step into a life of greater confidence and joy, you're in the right place. This journey isn't about adding more to your plate, it's about clearing the clutter and making space for what truly matters. As the ancient philosopher Lao Tzu wisely said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." Letting go of these 13 things might just be the first step toward becoming the strongest version of yourself. Are you ready to stop overthinking, stop comparing, and start living? Let's embark on this transformative journey together, one step at a time. The road to mental strength isn't about doing more, it's about being more intentional with what you choose to hold onto and what you choose to release. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is let go. About the author. Amy Morin is a celebrated psychotherapist, licensed clinical social worker, and best-selling author renowned for her expertise in mental resilience. Her breakthrough book, 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do, has empowered countless readers to build emotional strength and overcome adversity. Since its success, she has authored additional works that continue to provide practical tools for developing mental toughness. Beyond her writing, Morin is a sought-after TEDx speaker, with her talk The Secret of Becoming Mentally Strong captivating millions worldwide. Her ability to distill complex psychological concepts into relatable, actionable advice has made her a trusted voice in personal development. Morin's insights are deeply rooted in her professional experience and personal journey, lending authenticity and empathy to her message. As a frequent contributor to major media outlets, she shares her expertise on mental health, productivity, and emotional well-being, reaching diverse audiences. Through her books, speeches, and media appearances, Morin challenges individuals to confront limiting habits and thought patterns, empowering them to take control of their lives. Her work is a testament to the power of resilience, inspiring people worldwide to face challenges with courage and unlock their full potential. Chapter 1: How to Break Free from the Comparison Trap and Reclaim Your Joy. We've all been there. After spending time with a health-obsessed friend, you suddenly feel out of shape and unmotivated. Or maybe your marriage hits a rough patch, and you find yourself thinking, "At least I'm not single like my friend." Whether these comparisons make you feel better or worse, they can take a toll on your mental well-being. The truth is, constantly measuring yourself against others is a trap, one that leaves you feeling inadequate or complacent. But here's the good news: you can break free from this cycle and reclaim your peace of mind. The first step to escaping the comparison trap is awareness. Start paying attention to when and why you compare yourself to others. Is it when you scroll through social media? Or after catching up with a high-achieving friend? Once you notice these moments, consciously reframe your thoughts. Instead of focusing on where you feel you fall short, shift your attention to your unique strengths and accomplishments. Remember, your journey is yours alone, and comparing it to someone else's is like comparing apples to oranges. Next, address the discomfort head-on. If you find yourself constantly comparing your relationship to others, it might be a sign that something in your partnership needs attention. Use this realization as an opportunity to reconnect with your partner and work on strengthening your bond. Similarly, if you feel envious of a friend's career success, ask yourself what steps you can take to move closer to your own goals. Comparisons can sometimes serve as a mirror, reflecting areas in your life that need growth or change. One of the biggest culprits fueling the comparison trap is social media. While we've all heard that social media is just a highlight reel, it's easy to forget this when scrolling through picture-perfect posts. The constant exposure to curated moments can make it feel like everyone else has it all together, except you. To truly reset, consider a social media detox. Put your phone down, even if just for a week. You'll be amazed at how quickly you can recenter and reconnect with the joys of your own life. Breaking free from the comparison trap isn't about ignoring others or pretending their achievements don't matter. It's about shifting your focus inward and celebrating your own progress. As Theodore Roosevelt once said, comparison is the thief of joy. By letting go of the need to measure yourself against others, you open the door to greater self-acceptance and happiness. So, the next time you catch yourself falling into the comparison trap, take a deep breath and remind yourself, your worth isn't defined by anyone else's journey. Embrace your unique path, celebrate your strengths, and take steps to nurture the areas of your life that matter most. Breaking free from comparisons isn't just possible, it's the key to living a more joyful, fulfilled life. Chapter 2: How to Let Go of Perfectionism and Embrace a Balanced Life. Can women really do it all? Between careers, parenting, relationships, and personal passions, the pressure to excel in every role can feel overwhelming. The truth is, yes, women can do it all, but not perfectly. The pursuit of perfection often comes at a cost, leaving us drained, stressed, and disconnected from what truly matters. So, how do we break free from the grip of perfectionism and find balance in our lives? The first step is recognizing what perfectionism is costing you. Are you holding yourself back from pursuing your dreams because you're afraid they won't be good enough? Maybe you've started 6 novels, only to stash them away in a drawer, unfinished. Or perhaps you're skipping social events because you're worried about how you look, missing out on meaningful connections and experiences. Perfectionism can even creep into parenting, like staying up past midnight to pack Instagram-worthy lunches for your kids, sacrificing your sleep and sanity in the process. Once you've identified the toll perfectionism is taking, it's time to embrace your imperfections. Everyone has flaws, yes, even the people who seem to have it all together. You don't need to broadcast your shortcomings to the world, but sharing them with a trusted friend or partner can be incredibly freeing. It's a reminder that you're human, and that your worth isn't tied to being flawless. As Brené Brown wisely said, imperfections are not inadequacies, they are reminders that we're all in this together. The antidote to perfectionism isn't about lowering your standards, it's about setting realistic ones. Instead of aiming for a gourmet lunch, maybe a simple sandwich will do. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment to start the novel, write a messy first draft and celebrate the progress. By letting go of the need to be perfect, you create space for joy, creativity, and connection. Perfectionism often stems from a fear of failure or judgment, but the truth is, imperfection is what makes us relatable and authentic. When you allow yourself to be human, you give others permission to do the same. It's a powerful shift that can transform not only your own life but also the lives of those around you. So, the next time you feel the weight of perfectionism pressing down, take a step back and ask yourself, what's more important, being perfect or being present? By embracing your flaws and letting go of unrealistic expectations, you can reclaim your time, energy, and peace of mind. After all, a life well lived isn't about perfection, it's about balance, growth, and the courage to be authentically you. Chapter 3: Why Embracing Vulnerability is the Key to True Strength. In a world that often equates strength with stoicism, women face a double standard. Crying is seen as a sign of weakness, while returning to work weeks after childbirth is hailed as a badge of strength. It's no wonder many women feel pressured to keep their guard up, afraid to show vulnerability. But here's the truth, vulnerability isn't a weakness, it's a source of power. Embracing it is essential for building mental strength and fostering authentic connections. The first step to embracing vulnerability is understanding what holds you back. Are you afraid of rejection? Worried about being judged? These fears are natural, but they don't have to control you. Start by identifying a few trusted people in your life, a close friend, partner, or family member, with whom you feel safe sharing your true self. Vulnerability is a skill, and like any skill, it grows stronger with practice. Once you've identified your safe spaces, challenge yourself to take small, daily steps toward vulnerability. It could be as simple as inviting a coworker for coffee, speaking up in a meeting, or admitting when you've made a mistake. These moments might feel uncomfortable at first, but they're opportunities to practice courage. As Brené Brown, a leading expert on vulnerability, says, vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. Owning your vulnerability also means acknowledging your emotions without shame. Whether you're feeling scared, overwhelmed, or in need of help, giving yourself permission to feel is a radical act of self-compassion. It's a reminder that you're human, and that asking for support is a sign of strength, not failure. Over time, these small acts of vulnerability will transform your relationships and your sense of self. You'll find that being open and authentic deepens your connections with others, creating a network of trust and understanding. At the same time, you'll build inner resilience, knowing that you have the courage to face life's challenges head-on. So, the next time you feel the urge to hide your emotions or put on a brave face, remember this: true strength lies in embracing your vulnerability. It's not about being fearless, it's about having the courage to show up, even when you're scared. By letting down your guard and owning your authentic self, you'll discover a deeper sense of strength, connection, and joy. Vulnerability isn't the opposite of strength, it's the foundation of it. Chapter 4: How to Overcome Self-Doubt and Unlock Your Full Potential. A startling study published in the journal Science revealed that by the age of 6, girls begin to believe that men are more intelligent and talented than women. This early conditioning lays the groundwork for a lifetime of self-doubt, which can manifest as discomfort with anxiety, an excessive need for approval, and even procrastination. For many women, self-doubt becomes a silent barrier, holding them back from pursuing their dreams and embracing their true potential. Self-doubt often creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. Imagine a woman who doubts her ability to make conversation on dates. Her anxiety about being awkward leads to strained interactions, which only reinforces her belief that she's a poor conversationalist. This vicious cycle keeps her stuck, preventing her from growing and thriving. The truth is, self-doubt isn't just a feeling, it's a roadblock to becoming the best version of yourself. So, how can you break free from the grip of self-doubt? Start by gathering evidence. Let's say you're considering retraining for a new career but feel held back by doubts. What's the evidence supporting those doubts? Maybe it's the fact that you haven't studied in years. Now, counter that with positive evidence. Perhaps you're highly organized and motivated in your current job, skills that suggest you'd excel in a new field. By shifting your focus to the evidence that supports your potential, you can begin to weaken the hold of self-doubt. This exercise isn't about ignoring your fears or pretending they don't exist. It's about reframing your perspective and recognizing your strengths. As author and researcher Brené Brown once said, owning our story and loving ourselves through that process is the bravest thing we'll ever do. When you challenge self-doubt with facts and focus on your capabilities, you build the confidence needed to take bold steps forward. Overcoming self-doubt is a journey, not a one-time fix. It requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to confront the stories you've been telling yourself. But with each small victory, whether it's speaking up in a meeting, applying for a new job, or simply acknowledging your worth, you chip away at the barriers holding you back. The next time self-doubt whispers that you're not good enough, remember this: you have the power to rewrite the narrative. By focusing on your strengths, challenging negative beliefs, and taking action despite your fears, you can break free from self-doubt and step into your full potential. The best version of yourself is waiting. Don't let doubt stand in the way. Chapter 5: How to Stop Overthinking and Reclaim Your Mental Peace. Are you an overthinker? If so, you're not alone. Research using brain imaging shows that women's brains are significantly more active than men's, especially in areas linked to empathy and anxiety. While this heightened activity can make women more intuitive and compassionate, it also has a downside: overthinking. The constant mental chatter can lead to exhaustion, stress, and a sense of being stuck in your own head. But the good news is, you can take control and quiet your overactive mind. One effective strategy is to schedule a worry window. It might sound counterintuitive, but setting aside 30 minutes each day to focus on your worries can prevent intrusive thoughts from taking over. When you catch yourself spiraling, simply tell yourself, "Not now, I'll deal with this during my worry time." This technique helps contain your anxious thoughts, allowing you to stay focused and present throughout the day. It's like giving your brain a designated space to process concerns, rather than letting them run wild. Another powerful tool is what psychologists call changing the channel. When you find yourself overthinking, whether it's about finances, work, or relationships, shift your focus to a different activity. Go for a walk, cook a meal, or dive into a creative project. Redirecting your attention disrupts the cycle of anxious thoughts and gives your unconscious mind the space to work through the problem. Research shows that this mental incubation often leads to clearer, more thoughtful decisions. Overthinking doesn't have to control your life. By scheduling worry time and changing the channel, you can break free from the cycle of endless rumination. These simple yet effective strategies can help you reclaim your mental peace, reduce stress, and approach challenges with a clearer, calmer mind. Remember, you have the power to turn down the volume on your overactive brain and step into a more balanced, focused way of living. Chapter 6: Why stepping out of your comfort zone is the key to growth. Why should you leave your comfort zone? After all, it's called comfort for a reason. It's safe, familiar, and easy. But here's the truth: real growth happens in discomfort. Whether it's learning a new skill, taking on a leadership role, or negotiating a salary, pushing past your limits is where transformation begins. Staying comfortable might feel good in the moment, but it often means missing out on opportunities to grow and thrive. Take salary negotiation, for example. Research shows that when a job ad explicitly states that salary is negotiable, women are just as likely as men to negotiate their starting pay. But when salary negotiation isn't mentioned, women are far less likely to initiate the conversation. This hesitation can stem from fear of discomfort or rejection, but it also highlights how staying in our comfort zones can hold us back. The good news? You can reframe discomfort as an opportunity for growth. To embrace challenges, start by shifting your mindset. Instead of seeing obstacles as threats, view them as chances to learn and improve. Proactively boost your mood by exercising, spending time in nature, or soaking up some sunshine. These small actions can help you approach challenges with a more optimistic outlook. And remember, you don't need to feel brave before taking the first step. Courage often comes after you act, not before. The next time you're faced with a challenge, gather your nerves and remind yourself of past successes. Think about the times you've tackled difficult situations and come out stronger on the other side. Then, take that first step, whether it's asking for a raise, applying for a new role, or trying something completely outside your comfort zone. Growth isn't about feeling ready, it's about being willing to take the leap. So, step out of your comfort zone and into the space where real growth happens. The best version of yourself is waiting on the other side. Chapter 7: Why breaking the rules is the secret to empowerment. Growing up as a good girl often means learning to follow the rules, whether they're spoken or unspoken. But imagine where we'd be if women had always played by the book? It's the rule breakers, like Susan B. Anthony, who fought for women's right to vote and paved the way for progress. The truth is, sometimes breaking the rules isn't just necessary, it's revolutionary. More often than not, it's the unwritten rules that hold us back. These are the silent expectations about how women should behave, in relationships, at work, and as parents. Maybe you're a working mom feeling guilty for not spending enough time at home, or perhaps you're waiting for a crush to make the first move because you've been taught that men should take the lead. These invisible rules can limit your potential and keep you from living authentically. The first step to breaking free is to get analytical. What unwritten rules are shaping your choices, and are they serving you? Once you've identified the rules that don't work for you, it's time to start breaking them. This doesn't mean being reckless, it means being intentional about living life on your own terms. Whether it's asking someone out, setting boundaries at work, or redefining what it means to be a good parent, small acts of defiance can lead to big changes. And as you step into your power, don't forget to hold the door open for other women. Mentor your peers, friends, and daughters, showing them that they don't have to follow rules that don't serve them. Breaking the rules isn't about rebellion for its own sake, it's about creating a life that aligns with your values and aspirations. By challenging the status quo, you not only empower yourself but also inspire others to do the same. So, the next time you feel the weight of societal expectations, remember, the rules aren't set in stone. You have the power to rewrite them, one bold step at a time. Chapter 8: How to let go of toxic self-blame and embrace self-compassion. Accountability is a good thing, it helps us learn from our mistakes and grow. But toxic self-blame? That's a different story. When you constantly beat yourself up for every misstep, it can lead to guilt, shame, and a sense of inadequacy. The key is to distinguish between taking responsibility and falling into the trap of self-blame. So, how do you break free from this cycle? Start by pausing and asking yourself a few tough questions. First, are you blaming your behavior or your character? Chances are, you're not a terrible person, you just made a poor choice. Separating your actions from your identity is crucial for maintaining self-respect. Second, Ask yourself how much of the responsibility truly lies with you. Rarely is anything 100% your fault. And finally, consider what you'd say to a close friend in the same situation. You'd likely offer them kindness and understanding, so why not extend the same compassion to yourself? When self-blaming thoughts spiral into negative narratives, take a moment to reframe the story. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm a horrible daughter for putting my mother into a care home," tell yourself, "My mother needs professional care, and I made a responsible decision to ensure she's safe and supported." This shift in perspective helps you see the situation more clearly and reduces unnecessary guilt. Letting go of toxic self-blame isn't about avoiding responsibility, it's about freeing yourself from the weight of guilt and shame. By practicing self-compassion, you create space to focus on moving forward with clarity and kindness, both for yourself and others. Remember, you don't need to punish yourself for things beyond your control. Instead, choose to approach life's challenges with understanding and grace. After all, growth begins when we stop blaming ourselves and start believing in our ability to learn, heal, and thrive. Chapter 9: Why Speaking Up Against Sexism is an Act of Courage and Strength. Picture this: you walk into your office, focused and ready for the day, when your boss, an older man, tells you, "You'd look so much prettier if you smiled." How do you respond? Do you call him out on his casual sexism, or do you stay silent? For many women, the choice isn't easy. Fear of causing trouble, a lifetime of being conditioned to avoid conflict, and the very real risk of career repercussions often lead to silence. But staying quiet comes at a cost. Silence allows problems like this, and far worse, to persist unchecked, creating an unsafe and unwelcoming environment for everyone. Beyond that, repressing your feelings and opinions is mentally exhausting. The energy you spend bottling up your emotions could be better channeled into your work, your passions, or your personal growth. Speaking up, while daunting, is not just about standing up for yourself, it's about challenging a culture that normalizes sexism and inequality. Acknowledging moments when you've been victimized or discriminated against is the first step toward change. Confronting the perpetrator directly isn't always necessary, especially if it feels too uncomfortable or risky. Instead, seek support from a trusted colleague, mentor, or HR representative. Having someone in your corner can make it easier to address the situation and ensure your voice is heard. Remember, speaking out isn't just about advocating for yourself, it's about becoming a voice for those who feel less able to stand up for themselves. Your courage to speak up can set a powerful example and create a ripple effect of change. By challenging casual sexism and other forms of discrimination, you help build a safer, more inclusive environment for everyone. So, the next time you're faced with a situation like this, remember, your voice matters. Speaking up isn't just an act of bravery, it's a step toward a world where everyone can thrive without fear of judgment or discrimination. Chapter 10: Reinventing Yourself: Why It's Never Too Late to Embrace Change. Meet Sally. She's recently retired, her kids have moved out, and now she's wondering, what's next? She's considered a meditation retreat but thinks it's not really her. Gardening sounds fun, but she's convinced she doesn't have a green thumb. Her husband has taken up kayaking and keeps inviting her to join, but she brushes it off, saying, "He's always been the sporty one." Sound familiar? Life is full of shifts and changes. The woman you were at 65 won't be the same as the woman you were at 25, and that's a good thing. Yet, like Sally, many of us cling to outdated ideas about who we are, as if our personalities, interests, and abilities are set in stone. Reinvention can feel scary, but holding on to an old version of yourself can prevent you from discovering new passions and possibilities. Women, in particular, often get caught up in the day-to-day grind, leaving little room for self-reflection. Take a moment to zoom out and ask yourself, am I living a life I love? Is there something important missing? These questions can be the starting point for meaningful change. Imagine this: if, by some miracle, all your fear and anxiety disappeared overnight, what would you do differently? Would you go back to school, dye your hair purple, or finally move to Italy? These dreams aren't just fantasies, they're clues to what truly excites and fulfills you. So, what's stopping you from pursuing them? Reinvention isn't about erasing who you were, it's about embracing who you are now and who you can become. It's about stepping into the unknown with curiosity and courage. So, whether it's trying kayaking, picking up a new hobby, or making a bold life change, remember, it's never too late to rewrite your story. The only thing standing in your way is the belief that you can't. And guess what? You can. Chapter 11: Why Supporting Other Women is the Key to Your Own Success. Whether striving for the boardroom or public office, women face significant barriers on the path to success. While systemic challenges like the patriarchy are undeniable, sometimes we unintentionally make things harder by putting other women down to elevate ourselves. This phenomenon, often called the crab mentality, is like a bucket of crabs. As soon as one crab tries to climb out, the others pull it back down. The truth is, when we adopt this mindset, we're not just holding others back, we're limiting ourselves, too. To break free from the crab mentality, start by reframing how you view the women you're tempted to criticize. Recognize that your negative opinions aren't objective truths, they're often rooted in your own insecurities or fears. Ask yourself why you feel the need to put someone else down. Are you feeling threatened or inadequate? Instead of tearing others down, consider the power of lifting them up. What if you turn potential rivals into allies? Empowering other women doesn't diminish your own success, it amplifies it. When you support and collaborate with others, you create a network of strength and solidarity. Together, you can achieve far more than you ever could alone. As the saying goes, a rising tide lifts all boats. By championing the women around you, you not only help them succeed but also pave the way for your own growth. So, the next time you feel the urge to criticize or compete, pause and ask yourself, how can I build her up instead? Whether it's offering encouragement, sharing opportunities, or simply celebrating her achievements, your support can make a world of difference. Breaking free from the crab mentality isn't just about helping others, it's about unlocking your own potential and creating a future where all women can thrive. After all, when one woman rises, we all rise. Chapter 12: How to Handle Rejection Like a Mentally Strong Woman. Rejection is an inevitable part of life, but mentally strong women know how to handle it without taking it personally. Whether it's missing out on a job offer, being turned down for a second date, or facing criticism, rejection can sting. But here's the twist: the person who rejects you the most might actually be you. Limiting self-talk, like telling yourself, "I'm bad at math" or "I'll never be good at dancing," can cause you to reject opportunities before they even arise. These cognitive distortions, such as all or nothing thinking or overgeneralizing, can hold you back if left unchecked. The first step to overcoming self-rejection is becoming aware of these negative thought patterns. Challenge them by asking yourself if they're truly accurate or if they're just fear talking. For example, instead of saying, "I'm terrible at salsa," after one failed lesson, remind yourself that everyone starts somewhere. By reframing these thoughts, you can stop rejecting yourself and start embracing opportunities for growth. When it comes to criticism from others, set clear boundaries. A simple phrase like, "I'm not looking for advice on that right now," can shut down unsolicited opinions. At the same time, remember that not all criticism is bad, some of it can be a valuable tool for improvement. If your boss critiques your communication style, for instance, ask for specific, actionable feedback. The key is to separate constructive criticism from negativity and use it to your advantage. Ultimately, rejection only becomes a catastrophe if you let it define you. Mentally strong women don't see rejection as the end of the road, they see it as a chance to learn, grow, and move forward. So, the next time you face rejection, whether from others or yourself, remember, it's not a reflection of your worth. It's just a stepping stone on the path to becoming the best version of yourself. Chapter 13: Why Owning Your Success is the Key to Unlocking Your Potential. Failure is tough, but for many women, success can feel just as daunting. Do you ever feel unworthy of your accomplishments? Do you downplay your skills or worry that others will like you less if you appear ambitious? If you nodded yes to any of these questions, you're not alone. Many women struggle to embrace their success, and this discomfort can hold them back from reaching their full potential. The truth is, success isn't something to shy away from, it's something to celebrate. When you don't fully own your achievements, you rob yourself of the confidence and motivation to aim even higher. So, how do you start embracing your success? Begin by taking small, intentional steps to shift your mindset and own your accomplishments. First, express gratitude for your success. Acknowledge the hard work, dedication, and effort that got you where you are. Instead of deflecting praise with a humble brag or qualifying phrases like, "I don't want to brag," but try saying, "I'm excited to share." This simple shift in language helps you own your achievements without apology. Next, recognize your effort. When your boss or colleagues praise your performance, resist the urge to say, "It was nothing." Instead, acknowledge the work you put in. For example, you might say, "Thank you, I worked really hard on this project, and I'm proud of the results." By owning your effort, you reinforce your value and build confidence in your abilities. Owning your success isn't about arrogance, it's about self-respect and empowerment. When you celebrate your achievements, you create space to dream bigger and aim higher. So, the next time you feel tempted to downplay your success, pause and remind yourself, you've earned it. By embracing your accomplishments, you not only honor your hard work but also inspire yourself, and others, to reach even greater heights. Success isn't something to fear, it's something to own, celebrate, and build upon. In summary, on 13 Things Mentally Strong Women Don't Do, psychotherapist and best-selling author Amy Morin flips the script on traditional self-help. Instead of adding more to your to-do list, she focuses on what to let go of. Through 13 powerful lessons, Morin reveals the habits, mindsets, and behaviors that hold women back, from self-doubt and people-pleasing to comparison and perfectionism. This book is a roadmap to building mental strength, resilience, and confidence by shedding what no longer serves you. The journey begins with recognizing the toxic patterns that sabotage your growth. Do you overthink every decision, fear failure, or constantly compare yourself to others? Morin shows how these behaviors drain your energy and keep you stuck. By identifying and releasing these habits, you create space for clarity, joy, and self-compassion. Each chapter offers actionable steps to help you break free from these traps and embrace a healthier, more empowered way of living. One of the book's most transformative lessons is the importance of embracing vulnerability. Morin challenges the notion that vulnerability is a weakness, showing how it's actually a source of strength. Whether it's asking for help, admitting mistakes, or pursuing bold dreams, vulnerability allows you to connect deeply with others and live authentically. By practicing vulnerability, you build resilience and unlock your true potential. Another key theme is the power of letting go of perfectionism. Morin reminds us that striving for perfection is not only exhausting but also impossible. Instead, she encourages women to focus on progress, not perfection. By celebrating small wins and embracing imperfection, you free yourself from the pressure to be flawless and open the door to greater creativity, joy, and fulfillment. Morin also addresses the importance of supporting other women. She highlights the dangers of the crab mentality, where women pull each other down instead of lifting each other up. By reframing competition as collaboration, you can build a network of support and empowerment. When women uplift each other, everyone rises together. As we close this summary, remember this: mental strength isn't about being fearless or perfect, it's about having the courage to face challenges, embrace vulnerability, and grow through adversity. Amy Morin's 13 Things Mentally Strong Women Don't Do is more than a book, it's a call to action. It's an invitation to let go of what's holding you back and step into the strongest, most authentic version of yourself. To our amazing audience and newcomers, welcome to the Uplifting Audiobook YouTube channel. Whether you're here for inspiration, motivation, or a dose of positivity, you're in the right place. Together, we'll explore life-changing books like this one, share empowering stories, and build a community of growth and resilience. Hit that subscribe button, join the conversation, and let's uplift each other on this journey. Remember, you are stronger than you think, and your best self is waiting to shine. Let's grow together, glowing star.